So let me ask you, John McGuire asked this question. What would you go back and say to a young pastor if you had the chance?
I know, that was a good question. I was hoping you wouldn't ask that one. No, and actually I think it was, if you could go back in time and give you advice.
That's a good
and
way
if
to
I
say
had,
it.
isn't that what
not exactly, but
No.
you can do it that way if you want.
If I could write a letter to me, remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that country western song? Isn't that a great? Do you listen to country western music in South Florida?
Actually, I think that's how he asked it. Yeah, if you go back and say to young Pastor Craig and Andy, that's how, you're right.
Yeah.
You read it better.
I didn't want to shame you in front of the whole group.
You just did. Time number 4.
I think the most important leadership lesson I learned, and I learned it, I wish somebody had told me this when I was younger, is work toward only doing what only you can do. We all, in the beginning, we have to do everything. If you're a church planner, you have to do everything. You got to set up chairs, you got to do student ministry, you got to do it all. But the sooner you can identify your sweet spot in ministry or in life, the things that, you're not going to be the best in the world at it, but it's the best that you can do. It's the thing that you do best. To identify that and to work as fast as you can in narrowing the scope of your busyness and your time to where you really are spending more and more and more and more on time on fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer things. And the faster you do that, the more impact that you make. And I spent too much time being, an inch thin and, a mile wide. And when it finally dawned on me, Andy, you're only good at a couple things. So just quit doing all that other stuff and somebody else will come along and do it. So the quicker you can have a schedule that allows you to be in your sweet spot, that's what I would tell myself.
Great advice. It really is. That's the big win for everybody. For me, if I had to go back and talk to me at 28 when I started the church, I would tell myself a bunch. I'd say that God cares about this church more than you do, so relax. I would tell myself, someone else told me this isn't original, but I would tell myself what someone else said, that ministry is a marathon, not a sprint. And that, to me, that's really, really good advice. I would tell myself that to have more faith in God, that it's not all about my effort, that He really is faithful. And then this is kind of crazy, but I would have started journaling earlier because I missed, or documenting in some way. There are so many stories I just don't remember, and I wish I had those. I'd write everything down along the way. I've done that in recent years, and it's really important to me because all the way down to my kids and what God has done. I'd want to better be able to go back and see His faithfulness.